Hello and welcome to This Board Game Life. I am your host, Mark, and today I'm unboxing the Manhattan Project Energy Empire Cold War expansion from Minion Games and Grail Games. After the bombs fell on Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the dust settled from World War II, the nations of the world rebuilt their economies and infrastructure, and the atomic age began. Nations forged alliances through strong diplomacy. They built rockets and satellites and began the space race. They constructed enough nuclear missiles to destroy the world many times over. Their spies were around every corner. The Cold War had begun. The Manhattan Project, Energy Empire Cold War, adds new levels of strategy and options to the Manhattan Project Energy Empire game. The various components in this expansion are divided into separate modules. Players may pick and choose the modules they like best to customize their game, or even choose to eventually add all the modules to their game. It is recommended that these modules be added to Energy Empire gradually and not all at once. Cold War expansion adds many more opportunities for player interaction and creates many more varied ways to win. It also adds a Clash of Nations solitaire game. This game is designed by Tom Jolly and Luke Laurie. The art is by Josh Capel, Jeffrey Edwards, and Scott Hartman. Published by Minion Games originally, and also I listed Grail Games because they, I believe, now have the Manhattan Project IP, and it was, I believe, their crowdfunding where they reissued this printing of the original, because you can get Energy Empire now in the new art style that matches War Machine, and they did offer a reprint of the original, which I have this artwork for my Energy Empire, but I did not have this expansion, so I picked that up. This game was published in 2022 for ages 13 and up. Plays 1 to 5 players in about 120 minutes. And as always, I do ask if you'd please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon so you'll never miss any new content. Another thing I wanted to show off, as I did back this reprint, they did offer metal coins for the game. So I did pick up some metal coins that I'll show off as well. So let's go ahead and get to the table and check it out. So this is the expansion. So I have played this expansion, but I played it under the like the new reprint they did for Energy Empire. I do know one of the designers, and he does come and join our game group on occasion. In fact, that's who introduced me to the game originally. So Mr. Tom Jolly does attend our game group on occasion, and whooped our butt my first time I played this game, and it's a lot of fun. I really like this a lot. And then he introduced me when they were doing a reprint with the new artwork. He introduced the way they kind of did this in their new version. I got to play that, kind of play test it with him and go through. They wanted like a 2-player play test, I guess. So I did that with him. So some of this I've played, just not in the original version, but looking forward to and more content. And this kind of the Doomsday Clock is kind of a neat addition to the game. I did enjoy that. So there's a Clash of Nations solo mode as well, which is talked about in here. So we've got, what is this? 8-page rule book. So I'll show you. Here's the Doomsday Clock itself. So it's been a while since I played it, but like I think you've got I'm trying to remember there's something here that moves around, and you have to, I think, pay the resources, and I think these are victory points. I don't quote me on that. It has been, like I said, I played it once, and it's been a significant amount of time. But you can advance the clock, and then you place the Cold War deck. So there's a deck that goes here, and so let me just kind of using the Doomsday Clock. So you're going to place a worker on the Doomsday Clock, which I think goes into one of these spaces. As if it were part of the main board, instead of placing on the main board during a work turn, you may place a worker on the Doomsday Clock following the same rules as regular placement, including placing energy with your worker if necessary or desired. There's an additional cost that must be paid in order to place the worker on the clock. The cost is indicated by the hand of the clock and increasing during. So if you have to go up around the clock. So the first time you go there, then you cost you 2 coins to move the clock up. So then they got an example in here that you have to pay for down, looks like here. So they're on this spot in the example, and they say at the beginning of the game, when the hand points to 1 up here, the cost to place a work on the doomsday clock is $2. Later, when the clock reaches the 7 o'clock spot, the cost is $2 plus 2 oil, and the player must take a pollution token as well. And then after you place a work on the doomsday, carry out the following effects. So you would advance the clock to the next one. You would draw your Cold War cards, activate cards in your tableau, and then scoring. So I think these are maybe these are not points. These are just I think these are points at a certain point at the end of the game, if I recall. I somehow there's the point there of that. But anyways, not exactly 100%. Cold War cards. Each Cold War card you have is worth 1 victory point. At the end of the game, players receive victory points for their efforts in the Cold War. If the hand ever hits 12, the end of the game is triggered. Once the active player turns end, each player takes 1 turn, including the player advanced the clock to 12. And then you're just getting a point for each Cold War card, I guess. So, but this does show the star, and I'm pretty sure these are victory points somehow. I just have to read up a little further in that. All right. So we have a finance token. What is this for? Because it's not, that might be for class of nation. Let's see. What's the finance token for? Because they don't list it. You got, they don't even list this as a component in the game. Got to be listed here somewhere. But there is a finance token for some reason. Well, I don't know. I'll have to ask Tom. What's that for? I don't see it listed. It's probably listed right in front of my face, and I'm just blind, not seeing it. That happens a lot. And I claim it's because I'm a dude. How many times you send a guy to go do something, get something, and they're like, it's not here. I don't see it. And it's right in front of our face. All right, so we've got some new cards here. So what are these? The industry cards. And I think they're like factory and government, and I don't remember what the other one was. So, but there's new cards to put in for your buildings and things. So those are new spots to go to, new things to do. Here's some of the rest looks like they're Cold War cards. So just give you a look at, I don't know what this means. So, but that's a victory point for these cards. I don't know what the bottom of these, I do not remember. I don't remember the Cold War cards. I know we played this. I just don't remember exactly how, except it's been quite a while. And then we've got more cards here. I'm really wondering what this little token is for. Which gives you, it's like a spot. You can go there maybe to get 3 coin. I don't know what it's for. It's going to annoy me. So here we've got a new country. We have South Korea. So we get a new nation. Get a global impact, a late global impact card. So this is a missile crisis. So I think, yeah, you wipe all the buildings at the top. This has to do with the UN. I can't remember what that was for. Man, it's been a while. Until the next global impact card is triggered, players may not advance further on the United Nations track. So no environment row is scored. Instead, each player immediately scores 1 BP per space on their United Nations marker has moved. And then all 3 structure markers are refreshed. Yeah, so that's what that one is. Then we've got Clash of Nations. So this is that solo part, I believe, right? Clash of Nations was the solo mode. So there is these cards now for Clash of Nations. So just kind of give you a quick look at these. I again have not played the solo. Didn't have this till just now, so I am looking forward to giving this a shot, trying this game out in the solo mode and see what it's like. All right, and then I guess we got more nations. So maybe this is the Clash of Nations. So Australia, Brazil, Indonesia, Italy, Libya, Spain, Mexico. So those nations are also added in. And then we've got some mega structures. Oh, more global impact cards. And then what are these for? These like spy cards. Espionage. So we have 5 espionage cards. So immediately use an opponent's structure as if it were your own. The opponent gains $1 from the supply. So yeah, I thought these were already in the game. I don't recall. Maybe they weren't. But yeah, if you have this out, you can put your worker and an energy there, and then you can use one of your opponent's buildings. But they do get money. So, and then some more late global impacts. We got climate change, electromagnetic pulse, excessive regulations, hostage crisis, proxy war, and a terrorist attack. So those are some more cards. And then the mega structures. So these, I don't remember having these in the game either. Is this part of... So the mega structures are like structures and are purchased in a similar way from the appropriate structure market, but for all game purposes, they do not count as structures. They confer large amounts of victory points and powerful abilities. So changes to the setup. There's rules in here about how to changes for your setup and how to do these. So we've got the amusement world, global banking network, international corporation, capital city, historical landmark. See, that's worth 10 points. Telescope array, metropolis, oil cartel, power grid. So some new scoring opportunities. So, all right. That I think is it. Yeah, that's it. There is some baggies, but I actually have a 3D printed insert for my game, which already has a spot for all of this content to go in. And then so I'll be putting it in there, not back in this box. But I'll show you, here's some of the coins. They're just simple metal coins with the number 1 on them. Let's see, what's it say? I think it says something on there. It's a real small print. Let me see if the higher valued coins, which are bigger, if I can read those. Might not be able to anyways. I got old eyes. So here's the number 5 coins. So, and it looks like there's something printed on there, but my eyes are too old. So, all right, but that's what the unboxing for the Cold War expansion. So, Energy Empire. If you have never played this one, I recommend it. This is the Manhattan Project Energy Empire is one of my favorite games. This is so much fun to play, and I really, really enjoy it. It's a great worker placement. All right, let's take it back to the main camera. And again, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon so you'll never miss when I'm dropping new content. Again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at the table. Take care.